So I look at these edge guys that you've got, and it seems like you got a lot of dudes with some slightly different talents, right? Between Chenna and Boye Mafe and Darrell Taylor, and now add Derek Hall into that, and I'm probably missing a few other guys that you could put in there. Specifically with those four, how do their skills sort of differ in terms of putting them in the best position to
not
succeed?
as much as they're the same. I think they're more the same than they are different. They're all have good speed. They're all athletic. They're all aggressive. They're all very strong, fit, guys that are flexible enough that they can rush the passer primarily, but they also have the ability to do some coverage stuff that we can mix in to make us multiple. And I see them more similar than not. I think Derek is really a guy that he captures a lot of what Boye has and what Chenna has and what Bruce had last year as he came to us, and DT, you see in him, he's going to fit really well. We want a rotation. I want those guys to be just fast and furious coming off the edge, and so they'll be outside backers in the 3-4 looks, and then they'll be outside defensive ends in the 4-3 looks that we play, and they have the skill set to carry over.
Talk to me about the guys that line up behind all those big bodies. To have Bobby Wagner back in the building, I don't think we've gotten to talk to you since that happened.
Yeah.
And then Devin Bush, who was a top 10 pick when he came out of school, could absolutely fly. I saw him a bunch at Michigan. Tell me about those two and their fit within this group.
Well, without Jordan here ready to practice with us. I mean, Jordan Brooks he's a consummate young linebacker with speed and strength and agility and instincts and all that. He'll fit right in. We'll be as competitive as you can get. But getting Bobby back is a huge deal. He's such a pro, and he just gives us the stability and the background that we need to make sure that we know we're well coordinated in the games and orchestrated well with his leadership. Devin is a really talented football player and top 10 pick in the draft. A really fast kid, a little bit different package. He's a little smaller than the guys we've seen, but he's really built thick and solid in his legs and his lower body that gives him the punch that he has. That's two good guys right off the bat. Johnny Radigan has come back to us in the better than we've ever seen him. I mean, after his rehab year, he had an extraordinary offseason. He looks faster and stronger. He's going to be in there battling with us. Levi Jones looks different this time around. Another really athletic kid. One of the fastest, most athletic, the tallest of our guys is going to be fit in. He looks exciting on the field right now with us. So to have those guys, and there's going to be some, you'll see some excitement coming out of these free agent guys possibly that we'll get to hoot about in a little bit. That group has really it really looks like we've made an advance. And meanwhile, don't forget Nick Bloors in the midst of all of that too. Brings us experience and background and savvy and toughness and all. So it's a good group now.
We saw you at the Kraken game a couple weeks ago. Brock thought you were wearing number 32 to profess your love for running backs. He didn't put together the whole Kraken 30-second franchise thing.
It was RBs.
We thought you were trying to,
you were right.
Some
big old 32 looking so good on you, Pete.
I know.
But it does lead to a question about running backs. You guys drafted 2 more running backs this year, including another one in the second round. That position must be incredibly important to your system.
It is. No, there's no doubt.
Why is it so important to you?
It is because we want to run the football. We want to have that aspect of our team that gives us that stability that fits all aspects of your team in one. That's how I see it. I see the running game helps defense and special teams and everything, but it also really sets up and complements what you want to do in the throwing game and protecting.
But you got people out there who will tell you that, the difference between a second-round running back and a fifth-round running back is not nearly as large as the difference between a second-round D-tackle and a fifth-round D-tackle. Why have you guys gone and made an effort to draft running backs? I mean, this is the third running back or fourth running back you've drafted in the first 2 rounds. Why is it,
I mean, it just tells you about how we believe in the game.
Important.
Yeah, it's that important to have the stability and to have. There's guys that we fall in love with, and to see Zach, what he brings and his overall play, and how he'll complement Kenny, I think is really thrilling for us to get that nailed. And then we look, and here's McIntosh at the end of the draft for us, who could easily have been a third-round guy or higher. He could have been. He has tremendous ability and flexibility to fit in, too. Really good catcher and a really good open field player. And we love what DJ Dallas has done too. DJ had a really kind of an upsurge, I thought, last year in his how he complemented our play. So the group is really together. This is a very competitive, solid bunch of guys, and led by Kenny. And you know, Ken's a special football player. Man, he's had a great offseason. He's had he's looked fantastic. Has been running routes with receivers and doing everything you could hope. He's as ready to be as versatile as we could imagine. You know, so. That part of the game is going to be together, and that's a big part of our football team. So we know that we can fit that together. Doesn't mean we're going to run the ball the whole time. That's not it at all. You have to have that essence of in your team, I think, to have a championship makeup. And so we've put it together. John did a great job to rebuild that spot, and you'll see.
So I waited 20 minutes. Okay, we only have like 4 left to get to the schedule, but that is the news today. I don't know if you know that, Pete, but the schedule actually comes out at the end of the day today. Have you gotten to see the schedule? Do you like the schedule? Do you have any input on the schedule?
I have. Yes. And I can't wait to not tell you. I'm a loyal guy to the cause here.
You'll see. You have a few primetime games.
You know I mean, the schedule is what it is. What are you going to do about it? You know, we're going to gripe about it, or you're going to glow about it. I don't think there's either side of that we should take. It just each week it's hard as it can be to beat the team you're playing wherever you're playing them. But there's some interesting aspects to this schedule that I'm sure you guys will have a bunch of stuff to talk about, and we'll see. I can't say nothing.
Do you ever get any input? I know you get to call the league office with officiating at times after games, and you talk about different rules, and I know the owners' meetings and all the involvement. Do you get a chance to give your say when it comes to, hey, can you just look out for us in this way or that way? Or?
Let me put it this way to you: you're either competing or you're not. You know.
All right, let me ask you a competition question. When these rookies get in with everybody else, what are the spots on your team? I know there's competition everywhere. Where's there the most competition this year?
Well, the running back spot is one. That's going to be really interesting. I'm anxious to see what happens at guard and center. You know, that's a live competition now. We got 2 guys coming in that could start, and that's possible, and we can see that happening. But they got a long ways to go to get that. They're going to have to battle guys. I'm really fired up about Evan Brown. He's looked really good for us in these early days of running our Phase 2 stuff. Getting us going. So Phil Haynes is ready to be a starter. You know, he wants to own that spot too. There's a good spot. We'll see what happens at the corner spot. You know, Mike Jackson ain't giving up his spot. You know, and Tariq's not giving up his spot. They're going to go battle. And so as obvious, you would think that's just an automatic. You know, Kobe's fighting for his time. I mean, it's going to be really exciting to see how this goes. Derek Hall, we'll see what he brings. You know, he's got something for us. You know, so anyway, it's going to be. I think they're all competitive, but those are all legitimate spots that guys could earn a starting opportunity. And our guys know. And I said this to them when we started the off season that as we begin this off season, we always take a look at the young guys. We always force those guys to the front, just like we did with you. You know, reminded you they had that same chance, and I expect every one of them to battle their ass off to not let anybody take their spot. You know, and that's how it works.
We got to go.